And this is a style of experience that, that seems to be common to our indigenous brothers and sisters, and without doubt to our own indigenous ancestors. It is a sense that everything that we can sense, anything we can sense, is also assumed to be a sensitive, even a sentient being in its own right. Of course, the other animals. Not that they are the same as us. They are each very different. The spider who weaves the cosmos out of its own abdomen and just creates a whole spiraling galaxy or web out of itself. And the humpback whale who just, swims through the depths of the ocean and sending its eerie glissando cries through miles and miles of liquid ocean to communicate with other humpback whales. So different from our experience up here on the dry earth with our opposable thumbs. But our experience is so very different from that of the soaring hawk, hovering above its prey. Each being very different in its experience from the others, and yet the assumption is all of them are just as present, just as awake and aware as we are, but in a very different shape. But not just the other animals, the plants, the trees, the grasses, even whole forests are assumed to be alive and awake. But not just the plants and the other animals, but even the rocks and the mountains have their long, deeply layered experience of us and of the earth. Even the winds and the weather patterns, rivers, dry riverbeds, thunderclouds, particular winds that pour through a mountain pass or another wind that comes rolling up the river valley, only in a certain season and only at a certain time of day in that season. But it's assumed that that wind has its own intelligence, its own life. This experience is very old in us. And it is the way one experiences the world when your animal senses are all awake and listening. Of course, you will be just assuming that everything is alive, or at least potentially alive, because that keeps your ears very attentive, listening to what might be being said by these other beings. And it keeps your skin very awake, feeling for what the world might be feeling. But you cannot empathize with an inert object, with an inanimate object. And so much more practical, then, to allow that everything is alive.